So in other words, get off of the end of the can a little sooner.
The alto and bass, then you keep those.
You could keep them going if you wanted to, but you could also lift pretty quickly. One of the things I think he did just now to address what you're saying, on Brings Glad, he put a tie between the two F's there in the alto. Yeah, so that helps to suggest the sense of the text. Wonderful. Okay, now what I've given for you here is what I would write in my own home hymnal as I'm preparing for a Sunday service. Fairly big sound for the opening stanza. For stanza 3, a setup where I've got the cornet in the right hand. And in this case, I would probably feel liberated to move away from the soprano line just because everybody knows this tune. And I'd like to have John do that. Stanza 2 is going to be that reorganizing the chords so they're in the treble range, as Kevin was doing. Stanza 4, tenor range for the lower voices. In fact, let's just go ahead and say that stanza 3 is upper voices, stanza 4 lower voices. And then 5 is back to a fairly big sound, even bigger for the last 2 lines. So, before we talk about an intro, why don't you just do that for us, John? We'll sing with you. So why don't we start with stanza 6? I mean, I'm sorry. Then we'll sing on stanza 1. Sorry. I know it. No, we'll do the intro there. Now, let's talk about intros for a second. I think it's very important for the organist to send signals, occasional signals, light flashes to the congregation that say, I'm so happy to be here with you today. I just love being here. Not signals that say, this is all about me, but signals that say, hey, I'm here. I'm just loving being here with you today. So by that I mean, I prefer intros that are mostly on the page, but then a little bit not on the page at the end especially. So I might be inclined to do something like this week. Okay, so, well, I had a little setup going on at the beginning of the second line. Well, I was doing what John was doing. I was adding little desk hands above the melody toward the end there. But it was just a little tiny bit. It was most of what was there on the page, but with a little extra adornment. That was me peeking over the console going, hey, how are you guys? Remember you hired me a couple years ago? Okay, so John, would you try something like that? And, oh, sorry. Sorry. Very long copy. So maybe start with General 4. Just first phrase as it is, and then, we're gonna be great. That kind of approach is it sends security signals to your congregation. If you play what's on the page for a long stretch, a longish stretch, that says to the congregation, oh yes, we're on the same page. Because, I mean, sometimes our fancy introductions can lend a little insecurity to the congregation. People might be wondering, is he or she on the same hymn I'm on? But this says, oh yes, we're on the same hymn, and I get his tempo. I'm with him. I'm with him or her. So fantastic. And then a little bit at the end, just to add some note of joy and creativity. Yes, go ahead.
I was going to say that something I try to think about before I introduce things is whether or not the congregation knows it.
Exactly. Yeah. So this kind of, if it's a new tune.
Right. If it's a new tune, you want to make them feel secure in the melody. But if it's something that we've sung time and time again, then that's a little more window for creativity.
Yes, I think everything hinges on how well known the tune is. If it's completely new, you want to be very much on the page. And for something like this, you can go to town, especially once you get past the initial security setup. You could even do things like modulate between stanzas. That'd be a lot of fun. Very nice. I'm looking at my watch thinking, boo-hoo. We're going to wrap up hymn playing with 5 more minutes tomorrow. I just want to do one more thing with hymns, and that is finding ways to access applied dominance and applied diminished chords within the context of a hymn texture. So stay tuned tomorrow, the first 5 minutes, and then we'll start to get into improvising on a hymn tune. All right, fantastic.